from the Swisscast Network.
I'm going to tell you something that I probably should have mentioned before I started a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts. Genuinely, I'm not a podcast person. I never have been. I only listen when I'm alone in the car, which, now that I don't commute anymore, is almost never. And I know I could listen during a walk or at the gym, but I need those moments. I need those moments to think, to process my thoughts, to not consume something for just a minute. And I also don't like to close myself off with headphones. My favorite part of a Friday morning in the gym is having this completely unpredictable conversation with an older gentleman who I'm pretty sure is telling me something nice or important. I catch maybe 40% of it because he speaks Swiss German, and it makes his day and it makes mine. I'm not putting headphones in for that. I like to be available. So for a long time, I had this very logical feeling belief, you're not a podcast person, so you can't start a podcast. And then two things happened at the same time. I met someone who was building a podcast network and who actually could help me with all the planning and the editing, the part that I had no idea how to do, and it would probably take me so much time and annoy me so badly that I would just give up. And I read a LinkedIn post about how voice adds nuance to a message, how you can communicate things in audio that text just can't carry. That intrigued me. Something clicked. So I sat down and I figured it out. Turns out, it's not as easy as these podcasters make it look. Recording a coherent story, even for just 7 or 8 minutes, is pretty hard. And developing a season where the episodes actually fit together, next level. So, on take 5, after reading my script out loud for probably the 14th time, trying to sound like a person who has things together, I half screamed, oh, this is so much harder than I want it to be. And that's where the name of the podcast comes from, because that goes for podcasting and it goes for building an impact business. What I did to overcome that was figure out a system. I write a structure for the episode. It has a reality check in it, a shift, and a move. And then I write the full script and read that out loud to myself or to my dog. I tweak it and then reduce it to keywords and phrases before I actually record it. I record standing up with a lot of hand movements because that's apparently what it takes for me to sound like someone who has something interesting to say. And 2 episodes per session is my absolute maximum. After that, I'm done. I'm out of words and out of energy. 10 episodes later, though, nearly 300 people have listened, which is way more than I expected. Significantly more. And I'll be honest with you, whenever someone says, "Oh, I didn't know you have a podcast. What's the name so I can listen?" I have to do everything in my power to not tell them to basically listen to anything else. I am proud of the fact that I did this podcast, that I didn't let fear win, and that I didn't let my perfectionism stall it indefinitely. But this is the most done is better than perfect thing I've ever done, and I usually hate that approach. I'm completely ready, though, to go back in a year and die of shame listening to episode 1. But I also know that the only way to get to that point is to put out that first cringeworthy episode. So here we are. Season 1 was about frameworks, the tools, the shifts, the practical moves you can make this week. And season 2 is going to be different. Season 2 is about what actually happened. Real founder situation, anonymized, obviously, but where things went wrong. Not the polished version, the actual screw-ups. What we tried, what worked and what didn't, and what we learned. Because mistakes are the most information-rich things in a business, and I have a lot of that material. Season 2 starts in August. If you haven't listened to Season 1 yet, now's a good time. It's 10 episodes, all about 7 or 8 minutes. You can get through the whole season in about an hour and a half. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and soon also on YouTube. Or you go to the swisscastnetwork.ch. And if you want to be part of season 2, if you've been through something messy in your business and came out on the other side with something useful to say about it, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you can guest on an episode or make some sort of contribution. Find me on LinkedIn or write in the comments. I'm Linda. Thanks for listening. That's it for this episode. Check the show notes for ways to connect with me because we all know impact founding is much harder than we want it to be. I hope this makes it easier.
This podcast is a production of the Swisscast Network, amplifying English-speaking voices in, for, and about Switzerland. Learn more at swisscast.network.